Everything the KRS one said in that third album about the stress. But what does this say? If the cow, now you got to understand the Egyptians, the cow represented humanity. The Milky Way, Hathor Heru, is the goddess that sets over the Milky Way, a cow's milk. So anything with a cow even have a pineal gland. So anything, that's why they use the cow as the mother of humanity. Either the cow or a water cow, which is the hippopotamus. So you got the god after the Tyrt as the Tawaret as the hippopotamus goddess. You got Heru as one of the mother goddesses. Even Aset is she's shown with cow ears. So anything with a cow, when they show this thing here and they say the Kobe beef, what about if you had massages every day of your life? It had no, you see what I'm saying? Everything is based on stress. Everything. That's why that purple disc gets rid of stress. When I heard that, I said, oh, that shit gets rid of stress. Now, we know it gets rid of stress because one sister had called and said she gets depressed every day. And she put the purple disc on and her depression went away. Because stress is the key. A lot of times we look older than what we would look is because of stress. Now, anything on this planet can be reversed, even physical things. So you can reverse anything, you see what I'm saying, just by going back to childhood. You see what I'm saying? And that's what Michael Jackson was about. We're still in the vein of Michael Jackson. Y'all all right? You just want to put some stuff down? Want to put some stuff down. Now, this is interesting here. George Lopez. Anybody seen this damn thing here? What we do, George Lopez is a comedian, had a little TV show. Now he's doing HBO special. He's going around the country, packing the house with white folks and Hispanics, because he's one of them dark Hispanics. So what happened was when we reverse things. We talk a lot of shit about the protests of the black community and what's going wrong when we poor. And then when we get all the money, we ease up. We reverse. George Lopez came in with his TV show and was real benign and mild. And as he became a multi-millionaire, he started talking more and more shit. Well, last Saturday he came on HBO and he let crackers have it. He said, we ain't going nowhere. Who gonna do all that work here in America for them prices? If you've noticed, the only thing that's working in America in any restaurant and any kind of services is Mexicans. You go to an Italian restaurant, it's Mexicans. You go to an Asian restaurant, it's Mexicans. You go anywhere. I went to a Jamaican restaurant, they had Julio up in that motherfucker. And what he's saying here is, that he's saying 5 fucking years we're going to outnumber white folks. He's saying we're going to treat you with the same respect you treated us. So have your license and goddamn registration out. He went off on these people. I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker talking cash shit. He talked shit about them even in the realm of, like Paul Mooney does. He talked shit about these white folks the entire last Saturday night. He did it first in jokes, and at the end he just went off on their ass. And I said, oh, okay, well, he's rich. He's a multi-millionaire. He don't need none of them. Plus, them motherfuckers got Telemundo. They got all them other Mexican stations. He don't need these white folks. He went off on their ass. And I said, see, and he went off on it. He said, we ain't going a damn place. We're not going nowhere. They have taken over the fabric of America. They everywhere. And they are rolling on an advanced level. In Atlanta, they got malls and shit that's to envy for. And niggas running around talking, look at all Julio, look at them, laughing at them. They are rolling. They got everything. But America needs them. But I'm just saying, it was just interesting. It's on HBO now, the George Lopez shit. It came on last Saturday and watched it, and he worships Richard Pryor because his whole system comes from Richard Pryor. You know how Richard Pryor in the 70s used to compare the white man, then he compared the black man. This is what white people do, this is how we do it. So this is what white people do, this is how the Mexicans do it. And the last special, he gave tribute to Richard Pryor. So he's studied the Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney shit, because Paul Mooney used to write for Richard Pryor. He studied Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney and then converted that shit in for the Mexicans. And they loving him. And he talking cash shit to white folks about it. Just interesting how, you know what I'm saying, how people can be inspired by people who choose to stand up. You see what I'm saying? And he done studied the black greats, like Dick Gregory and Richard Pryor and now Paul Mooney, and he put that shit right to Mexico. And he went out there their ass last Saturday night. It was unbelievable, unbelievable. and stuff like that. I just wanted to put that in the record, because I was blown away when I saw this shit. And he did it the last show, but he just did the comparison like the Richard Pryor. Here's black people, here's Mexican people, here's white people. Then this show here, he came out, he said, fuck it. He just went off on their ass. He just went off on them like Paul Mooney did. Just went off on them. I'm like, okay. But that's what's supposed to happen. If you got money, you can only spend with so much. Stand the fuck up. If they don't want you no more, who gives a damn? The community will still have you. You see, like I said, they got their own network, so they don't need shit. You see what I'm saying? He can retire there. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay, now. All right, let me just see some things here. Let's see some things here we want to deal with. A few things. Car is also melanin. Now this is interesting here, a concept. There's a book you need to get called the Hathor Material. It's a channel book, and people used to give me this book in the 90s, and I don't want to buy it. Somebody give it to me, I give it away, and the book just kept coming back. It's called a Hathor Material. So I finally read this stuff, and all this particular information is in there. They say that, they said something that I had already known, that I could remember the 1950s vividly, all of the 1950s. But I was born in 1961. Same as this George Lopez, Barack Obama, Eddie Murphy, Larry Fishburne, Forrest Whitaker, George Clooney, that girl, can't think of the other name, but all these people born in 61. That was the time when the photon belt started kicking up in 61. Wynton Marsalis, all those are 61 children, which is called light bringers from the early 50s. Okay, you got it, yeah. From the early 50s on into 1970 was the light bringers. Or maybe the late 40s. 1970s is the indigo children. Then the 1990s is the crystal children. And the 2000s is the rainbow children. And the rainbow children are very advanced. The crystal children and the rainbow children, the only thing about them, you got to pay close attention to them. Because the more advanced they can get, the more they become mass murderers and killers, because it's the same energy. You see, so they can be very advanced messianic type children, but it can also be, if you don't study them and focus on them, they can become mass murderers, killers, and all kind of real sick individuals and stuff, because that energy got to do something, and it needs cultivating. You see what I'm saying? And I remember one of the boys was an indigo, he was a crystal child in the 90s, and that's very powerful. And the woman, she would be real hard on him. She was a psychic sister, and she said, "No, I gotta be hard on him." She said, "He's very advanced. He's very psychic. He's a crystal child, and I got to treat him with a stern hand, or that motherfucker they're gonna kill somebody." You see, it's a thin line between